We live in a time where emotions run wild, where outrage spreads faster than reason, and where self-control is seen as old-fashioned. But what if the very chaos consuming your mind could be silenced, not by escaping it, but by mastering it? The Stoics believe that the mind is not meant to be ruled by feelings, but governed by discipline. That your emotions are not facts, they're impulses. And those who react blindly become slaves to their own storms. But the Stoic, he builds a fortress within. He trains his mind like a warrior sharpens a blade, with clarity, repetition, and ruthless honesty. In a world that tells you to follow your heart, Stoicism teaches you to command your thoughts, because the one who controls his mind controls his fate. If you're ready to break free from the prison of impulse and build unshakable mental discipline, this is where you begin. Emotion is not your enemy, but it should not be your master. Your emotions are not your enemies, but they are not your masters either. That is the first Stoic lesson. You feel rage? Let it burn without breaking you. You feel sadness? Let it rise without drowning you. Emotions are waves, and Stoicism is the anchor. The modern world teaches you to obey your feelings. It rewards emotional expression over emotional control. But the Stoic knows emotions are not truths, they are impulses, fleeting, often misleading. When you let emotion rule, you become a slave to every whim. Every insult shakes you, every disappointment breaks you, every desire controls you. But when you train your mind to observe emotion without obeying it, you become dangerous. You become calm in the face of rage. You become clear when others are lost. You become steady while the world spins in chaos. That is the power of Stoicism. Not to kill your feelings, but to control their influence. You do not silence the storm, you learn to command the ship. Discipline is the blade that sharpens the mind. Discipline is not about punishment, it is about precision. It is not cruelty toward yourself, it is alignment with your higher self. Most people drift. The Stoic moves with intention. He does not ask, "Do I feel like it?" He asks, "Is this worthy of me?" Discipline takes the chaos inside your mind, the temptations, distractions, fears, and it forges them into clarity. It is the decision to rise when it's easier to rest. It is the choice to speak less when your emotions want to explode. It is the strength to stay on the path when everything in you wants to quit. The Stoic doesn't wait for motivation, he builds momentum. Discipline is not restriction, it is liberation. Liberation from regret, from shame, from the pain of acting beneath your potential. The undisciplined man is a puppet of mood. The Stoic is a master of will. Emotion reacts. Discipline responds. Emotion is reactive. It flinches, it panics, it clings. Discipline does not flinch, it calculates. Emotion says, "I want comfort now." Discipline replies, "I want excellence always." Emotion pulls you into drama. Discipline leads you to silence. Emotion is concerned with the next few seconds. Discipline is concerned with the next few decades. Ask yourself, when has emotion served you more than discipline? The angry outburst you regret, the impulsive decision that derailed your progress, the fear that kept you from taking the leap. Discipline doesn't eliminate emotion, it puts it in its proper place. The Stoic does not let the child inside him steer the wheel. He lets the warrior take command. Rewiring the mind is a battle, one you must win. Rewiring your mind is not an event. It is a process. It is not a one-time act. It is war. You fight it every morning when the alarm rings, every time you're tempted to scroll instead of study, every time you want to speak without thinking. The Stoic does not hope to feel better. He chooses to become better. Through practice, through pain, through patience. Most people want change, but they wait to feel motivated. The Stoic rewires himself with repetition, not inspiration, with stillness, not stimulation. You become what you repeatedly do. If you choose discipline over emotion today and tomorrow and again the day after, one day, it becomes who you are. That is how Stoicism rewires the mind, not through words, but through consistent, brutal, necessary action. Emotions left unchecked will own you. How often have your emotions made you weak? You said too much in anger, you delayed action in fear, you chased pleasure in loneliness, you folded under pressure. That is not because you are broken, it is because you are untrained. The mind, untrained, obeys emotion. The Stoic trains his mind to obey reason. He knows. Feelings are not facts, desires are not directions, impulses are not instructions. He filters every emotion through reason. He asks, is this helpful? Is this true? Does this serve me long term? If not, he discards it. He does not give every emotion the privilege of action. He rules his inner kingdom like a just emperor, with strength, with clarity, with control. Control yourself or be controlled. The harsh truth is this: if you don't control yourself, something else will. Maybe it's anger, maybe it's desire, maybe it's fear. But if you do not take the reins of your mind, some lesser force will. The Stoic understands this. He doesn't wait for a crisis to build strength. He trains daily in small moments, in how he speaks, in how he listens, in how he restrains his tongue when insulted. Self-control isn't something you turn on when it's convenient. It must be who you are. It must live in your bones, because the world will test you. Life will punch you in the gut. People will lie, betray, and provoke you. But when your mind is trained, none of it can move you. You become untouchable, not because pain doesn't exist, but because your response to it is governed by something deeper than emotion: character. The mind is a fortress, but only if you build it. A weak mind is like a broken gate. Anything can pass through. Anxiety, doubt, anger. But the Stoic builds a fortress, brick by brick, thought by thought. He does not entertain every worry. He does not believe every emotion. He filters. He fortifies. He strengthens his walls with philosophy, reason, and self-mastery. When you hear someone say, "That's just how I feel," understand they are admitting they've given up control. The Stoic says, "That may be how I feel, but how I act is my choice." That is the difference between slavery and freedom. The mind is not a place for chaos. It is a command center, and you are the commander if you have the discipline to rule it. The strongest man is the one who masters himself. You want to be strong? Control your urges. You want to be wise? Control your tongue. You want to be free? Control your thoughts. In a world that tells you to express everything, the Stoic learns to restrain. Not because he is cold, but because he is precise. Strength is not lifting weights. Strength is lifting yourself above your impulses. How many strong men fall because they couldn't say no to a moment of pleasure? How many brilliant minds are wasted because they couldn't silence their inner noise? The Stoic masters himself. He denies what is easy to preserve what is great. He suffers in the short term to protect his long term. He does what must be done, whether he feels like it or not. That is strength. That is rare. That is Stoicism. Feel everything, but obey nothing. The Stoic does not run from feelings. He feels them fully, but he does not obey them. He lets sadness come. He does not chase it away. He lets anger burn, but never lets it burn others. He is not numb. He is not robotic. He is just unmoved by the noise. Because he knows feelings are visitors, but decisions are permanent. Modern man believes his feelings are sacred. The Stoic believes truth is sacred, purpose is sacred, honor is sacred, and feelings must bow before them. You feel tired? Still rise. You feel afraid? Still move. You feel wronged? Still respond with virtue. The Stoic builds a life not on comfort, but on conviction, and that is what makes him unstoppable. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you could be. Everyone wants change. Few want the cost. That cost is discipline. You want to be calm under pressure? You must train your breath when no one's watching. You want to be fearless? You must face discomfort daily. You want to build a mind of steel? You must break the mental habits that keep you weak. That's the work. That's the path. The Stoic doesn't dream of who he could be. He builds it. Slowly. Brutally. Repetitively. He does not wait for some perfect day to begin. He begins now with what he has. He sharpens his discipline until it cuts through laziness, doubt, and distraction. He becomes what others only talk about. Because while they are led by feeling, he is led by principle. In a world ruled by impulse, the Stoic man becomes a rare force. Calm in chaos, unmoved by insult, guided by reason. Remember this: you either train your mind or the world will train it for you. Discipline is not a burden, it is your freedom. Choose mastery. Choose strength. Choose the Stoic path.